Now, welcome to electrical machine lecture. Today, our topic is polarity test. Polarity test on transformer, or simply polarity of transformer. Polarity of transformer is identified to know the relative direction of induced EMF in primary winding and secondary winding. This polarity is a result of direction of winding in the primary as well as secondary. And this is same for the three-phase transformer as well as two winding, that is a single-phase transformer. And this is important to identify when two transformers are connected in parallel. So one of the parallel operation condition is that the polarity of terminals should be same before connecting the transformers in parallel. So what is that polarity test? The polarity test, say for example, this is the two winding transformer simply. This is one winding. This is second winding. If the direction of EMF induced, say this is terminal A1, A2, this will define the primary winding. It is the direction of EMF induced is in this direction, and the direction of EMF induced in the second winding of the transformer is same. Then we can say that we can put the terminal name. This terminal name is A1 and A2. Okay. Similarly, if there is a difference, say it is called as a similar polarities are similar. So it can be indicated that this is dot and it is also the dot. It means that at the same direction of EMF induced or the say waveform, say this is the wave shape you have applied to the transformer primary winding. During positive, maximum positive, this is also the maximum positive. It is the minimum. Okay. Now, second case is that this is one winding, say it is A1 and A2, the direction of EMF induced in this direction. Okay. The EMF induced in the second winding or secondary winding is opposite. It is depend upon the direction of physical winding. Okay. So under such condition, this will be A1 and it will be A2. So it means that the identity polarities are similar, polarities are terminals are, this is A1 and this is. So it is called as a similar polarity. Means during positive half cycle, this term is positive, this terminal also positive. Okay. For the instant of polarity, for the instant of supplied voltage. Okay. Now, but what is the it is called as a additive polarity and it is called as a subtractive polarity. So we'll give the name as a subtractive polarity. Subtractive polarity, and it is additive. Additive polarity. Okay. Now, how to find this polarity on the transformer? By testing this one. So test of polarity. For that, there is a single phase transformer. single phase transformer. Okay, it is A1. We know that identified the terminal A1, A2, but we have to identify which is the small, which will the small A1 and A2 is there. Capital A1 and A2 is the primary winding. Connect a link in the one terminal, either this side or this side. Say we will connect the terminal, short circuited terminal, primary winding to the secondary winding, and in the second terminal we will connect a voltmeter, AC voltmeter, and definitely the voltmeter is such that the range of voltmeter is equal to the primary voltage plus secondary voltage. Say the primary voltage, we will give the numerical values so that it becomes simple to understand. Say the primary voltage is 230 volt, okay, and the secondary terminal voltage is 115 volt. It means that the transformer is, for example, 2 kVA, 230 by 115 volt, isn't it? So its primary voltage is 230 and secondary EMF induced is 150. So the voltmeter rating should be equal to 230 plus 105. So it is around 300 and 345. So the terminal, the transformer should be 0 to 600 volt, because the voltmeters which is available, standard rating of the voltmeter is 0 to say 150 volt. It may be a 300 volt, it may be a 600. Okay, so it means that the voltmeter reading, the voltage range of voltmeter in such a way that it is able to measure V1 plus V2 totally at the same time. Okay, now if this terminal and this terminal of same polarity, say for example this condition, if these two terminals are same, so what will happen? The voltmeter will measure V1, this is say V1, it is V2, it measure V1 minus V2. If suppose voltmeter readings is equal to V1 minus V2 is the voltmeter reading, it is V1 minus V2, it is called as a subtractive polarity. It is a subtractive polarity. Okay, it means that the transformer which is under test has similar polarity. This is similar polarity, this is also similar, and we are or we can write here it is a A1 and A. Okay, yes, if the voltmeter, if this voltmeter measure V1 minus V2, then voltmeter reading is a subtractive, and we can say that A1, capital A1 and small a1, or these two terminals are same polarity, these two terminals are same polarity. Say it is a same polarity terminal. Simply it is a same polarity terminal. Now similarly, if voltmeter reads V1 plus V2, V1 plus V2 is the voltmeter reading, then it is a additive or additive. It means that here the same polarities terminals are, this is say positive half cycle, this will be at positive half cycle is positive. So in this case, this terminal is also positive and this will be A1 and this will be A2. Isn't it? So very simple. If the voltmeter measures the difference of V1 and V2, it is the similar polarity. Okay, similar polarity, whatever the direction of windings, and such a way that the EMF induced in the one half positive half cycle, same magnitude, that is the magnitude is different, but as depend upon the number of turns, is during that instant the EMF induced in the second winding also in the same direction and they are having same terminals. Okay, so it is used for identify the similar terminals on the transformer. So such type, this test is useful to determine the polarity of single phase transformer as well as three phase transformer. Okay. So this is the polarity test on the transformer. Now, parallel operation of transformer. Parallel operation of transformer. What do you mean by parallel operation of transformer? The transformers are said to be connected in parallel when their primary windings are connected to common supply and their secondary windings are connected to the common load. It means that if suppose there are two transformers whose primary winding is connected to the common supply. For simplicity, it is a single phase supply. It is a single phase transformer, but same for the three phase transformer. The primary windings are connected to the common supply. So the transformer 1 for transformer A and transformer B. So transformer A, transformer B, whose primary winding is connected to common supply. Yes. So it is connected to the common supply, phase and neutral, where at the same time, their secondary windings is connected to common load. So this is the load on the transformer. This is a load on the transformer. Secondary of second transformer is connected to the load. Secondary of transformer B also connected to the same load. Then it is set, this connection is set a parallel operation. So all the transformers are connected in parallel, no doubt. Even though those are connected to the parallel, the same source, whatever the source is there, single phase source or three phase source are there, but they are supplying the load to their secondary windings are supplying the load to the respective load conditions, isn't it? And if the secondary winding is connected to the common load, then it is called as a parallel operation. Okay, so parallel operation means whose primary winding as well as the secondary winding. So primary winding is connected to the common source and secondary winding is connected to the common load. Then and then it is called as a parallel operation of transformer. But what is the need of parallel operation? What is the reason of parallel operation we are doing? The parallel operation is used for large load. It may be impractical to connect a single transformer. Say for example, what is the reason why we are connecting the transformer in parallel? Reason for parallel operation. Parallel operation. First reason is that if the load is very high, so the capacity of the transformer should be very high. For example, we have the load equal to 100 kVA, isn't it? Now what we have to do? We have to use the transformer of the same capacity. Transformer of same capacity or greater than that same, more than that load capacity. Okay. So this is the first condition. But instead of this one, if you use two transformer of 50 kVA, 50 MVA or 50 kVA load is there. So what happened during that condition? If suppose the one transformer fail, one transformer is ready to supply the emergency load conditions, isn't it? So here, with the help of two transformers, with the help of three transformer, it is possible to maintain the reliability of the system, continuity of the system, and future scope. And again, if a load has been increased in the city, again we will connect one more transformer and it will supply the power. So during expansion, during maintenance, during failure of the system, failure of the one of the transformer, it is possible to supply load which is necessary, which is emergency conditions, or which is a higher priority feeders can be supplied power with the help of one transformer or two transformer out of parallel transformers are there. For example, in the city, communication system, hospitals, some of the government offices, isn't it? Similarly, some police department, it has a emergency feeders are there, emergency supply is needed. We cannot disconnect the supply to such type of load. So these type of load can be supplied by a single transformer when the number of transformers are connected in parallel during failure condition. So it has that. One more thing, suppose we are using only one transformer of the 100 kVA. Suppose this transformer fails, what happens? You have to keep one more transformer of same capacity as a reserve, isn't it? And here, if you are using the 50 kVA transformer or number of 50 kVA transformer is there, okay? So the reserve capacity should be equal to the 50 kVA because there is a less chances that at the same time both transformers fails, isn't it? Only one transformer fails, so reserve capacity transformer is put into the service, and again the reliability, continuity of the supply will maintain. Okay, so during if you are using large capacity transformer, it is difficult to keep one more transformer as a reserve transformer. Whereas if the small capacity transformers are connected in parallel, then it is possible to keep a small capacity single transformer as a reserve capacity, and it will be economical point of view for the utility system or power supply systems. Okay. Now, what are the necessary condition and so what are the parallel operation? So condition for parallel operation. What are the conditions for to connect a parallel operation? So first is the necessary conditions are first is the polarities of two transformer must be same. As already discussed, if different polarity transformers are connected, it will make the short circuit. See, we will see one by one with the help of. Second is that the turns ratio must be same. Say it will be a 1:2 or 1:3. The ratio, primary winding to the secondary winding ratio must be same. And while connecting the two transformer, the voltage of secondary must be same. Definitely, when the turns ratio is same, the voltage remains same, isn't it? So no need to measure this one. And what are the desirable conditions? This is the necessary condition. Without these 2 point, number 1 and 2 point is fulfilled, we cannot connect the transformer. Once these two conditions fulfilled, then it is possible to connect the transformer. The polarity of must be same. the turns ratio must be same. Necessary condition. Sorry, this is the necessary condition. Desirable condition. Desirable, if these conditions again fulfill, it will give the proper performance. One is the internal impedance. First is the internal impedance. Impedance should be equal. Should be equal. Okay. Impedance x1 plus r1 plus j x1, or say it is the impedance of the primary winding is equal to the z1 is equal to r1 plus j x1, and impedance of the secondary winding is r2 plus j x2. So their impedances of both transformers should be equal. And second point, which is very important, the ratio of their winding resistance to reactance must be same. Resistance to reactance ratio must be same for both transformers. Then, and if this R by X ratio, that is resistance to reactance ratio, is same for the transformer 1 and transformer 2, under such condition, the transformer will share the load as per their capacity. Okay. So reason the advantage is that transformers share the total load as per their capacity. It means that to connect a parallel transformer, it is not necessary that they should have a same capacity. One capacity is a 50 kVA, second capacity is 60 kVA. We can connect the two transformers are in parallel. We can connect a two transformer in parallel with the total load to supply the load. First necessary condition is that the polarity of the transformer must be same, turns ratio must be same, their capacity may be different. These are the necessary conditions. But if desirable condition, if these two conditions are fulfilled, or it is same, that is internal impedance is same, ratio of resistance to reactance is same, then they will supply the total load as per their capacity. For example, the load is 110 kVA. Okay, so the first transformer will supply 50 kVA, second transformer will supply 60 kVA. Otherwise, if these conditions are not fulfilled, then what happens? Sometimes it is observed that this transformer may supply up to the 55 kVA and it will supply 55 kVA. So a small transformer or a small capacity transformer is going to supply more power, so it becomes overloaded, and the second transformer whose capacity is large, it's supplying less power and it is operating under load condition. So there is no problem for the 60 kVA, but 50 kVA transformer is supplying 55 kVA, so it is an overload condition. It may burn out or the life of the transformer get reduces. So this is the say necessary condition and desirable condition of parallel operation of two transformers. Now parallel operation. Parallel operation we'll see with the help of diagram and equations. So parallel operation, again, it will say parallel operated transformer when their primary winding is connected to common source and secondary winding is connected to the common load. So this is the one transformer, this is second transformer. Here see, this is the primary winding is connected with the source. Say this is a transformer A, transformer B. Okay, so primary winding is same, voltage is say V1. Okay, secondary winding, it is connected to the common load. So secondary winding, we will say this is the resistance and reactance, say ZA, refer to the secondary side. Okay. And here it is the load, common load. This common load is ZL. ZL is the common load, and VL is the load voltage across load, and IL is the current in the load transformer. Okay, so here it is a ZA. Similarly, the second transformer, the impedance, resistance and reactance refer to the secondary winding, ZB. It is connected to the common load. The current supplied by second transformer is IB. Current supplied by first transformer is IA. Okay, and the secondary winding in this way, it is connected with the, so it is ZB. So the ratio is say ratio of the two transformer is same. So A is the turns ratio. Now let me write as A1, A2 are the turns ratio of transformer A and B respectively. So it is V1, voltage is V1 upon A1, and it is V1 because primary winding is connected to the common source upon A2. Similarly, ZA, ZB is the equivalent impedance of transformer A and B. Definitely it is referred to the secondary side. ZL is the load impedance. It is a common on secondary of transformer A and transformer B. Okay. Similarly, the IA and IB is the current of transformer. Okay, we write IA, IB, current of transformer A and B respectively, isn't it? Now, apply KVL in the first case, that is the load current, KVL and KCL. So IL is equal to, this IL is equal to addition of IA plus IB. Okay. Now, if you apply the KCL in this loop, so VL, load voltage, is equal to V1 upon IA1 minus IA ZA, and which is equal to, VL is equal to, we can write it is equal to V1 upon A2 minus IB ZB, isn't it? So what we do, we are applying the KVL in this loop. So VL is equal to this voltage minus voltage drop, or if you apply this KVL to the secondary of transformer B, VL is equal to V1 upon A2 minus IB into ZB, isn't it? So if you put the value of here, IB is equal to as IB is equal to, what we can write? We can write here IL minus IA. Okay, IL minus IA. So VL is equal to V1 upon A1, sorry, A2, okay, A2 minus IL minus IA into ZB. Say equation number, this is equation number 1. and this is equation number 2. Okay. So by solving equation number 1 and 2, by solving equation number 1 and 2, we get IA is equal to ZB into IL divided by ZA plus ZB plus V1 A2 minus A1 divided by A1 A2 into ZA plus ZB. Okay. Similarly, IB is equal to ZA into IL divided by ZA plus ZB plus it is minus V1 into bracket A2 minus A1 divided by A1 A2 ZA plus ZB. So this is a very important one. Now see, this current IA or IB, it has two parts. One part is the part which is going to utilize by load. So this is IL. This is IL containing IL, which is going to utilize by load. Here also ZA into IL, it is going to utilize by load, whereas this part of the current is the circulating current and it is not used by the load, isn't it? But it means this part, okay, and this part is the circulating current. This circulating current will circulate the secondary winding of first transformer, secondary winding of the second transformer, and again it will goes to this part. So this component of current is not utilized by load. Okay. For example, 100 ampere is the load current and 2 ampere or 3 ampere is the current which is going to circulate in the loop of the transformer, in the secondary loop of the transformer. So it is that current is not the part of load current. So this current has a disadvantage that it will overload the transformer, even though the actual load on the transformer is small. Say it is 100 ampere and it is a 20 ampere is there, or say 10 ampere is there. So it is adding the total current and it will make the transformer overload. Whereas in actual load condition, the load is not the overload, isn't it? The capacity of load is not in such a way that it will make the transformer overload. Second, it will increase the heat and losses in the transformer, isn't it? So if you observe this equation carefully, there is a term A1 minus A2. Sorry, A2 minus A1. A2 minus A1. What is A2 and A1? A2 and A1 is the turns ratio of transformer 1 and transformer 2. If these ratio, whatever the ratio, say the N1 upon N2 for the transformer A and N1 upon N2 of the transformer B is nothing but A1 and A2. If these turns ratio of the two transformers are equal, these terms become zero. A2 minus A1. So if there is the same value, say it is 100, it's also 100. So it is the same value. So this term becomes zero, this term becomes zero. So our load current, or current supplied by the transformer A and B, it is completely utilized by the load, isn't it? So no doubt, even though it has a small difference between the turns ratio of transformer A and transformer B, it can be connected. But if the turns ratios are equal, definitely the circulating current becomes zero, and it is say perfect. Whatever the load is, whatever the load current supplied by the transformer A and transformer B is going to say utilized by the load. It is load by the load one. Okay. So now the condition is that the second we can write as equal ratio. Equal ratio. If the ratios are equal, what happen? That is A1 is equal to A2. Under such condition, the current IA is equal to ZB into IL upon ZA plus ZB, and IB is equal to load current supplied by the second transformer is ZA into IL divided by ZA plus ZB, isn't it? So this is the very important relation for the load current supplied by transformer A and transformer B. Okay. So we can say that IA upon IB is equal to IA is equal to, so it is nothing but these terms are similar. IL upon ZA plus ZB is so similar. It is vice versa of their impedance ZB upon ZA. Okay. So now it is equal to IA ZA is equal to IB ZA, isn't it? Say this equation, these two equation number 1, 2, 3, 4. This equation number is 3. This equation number is 4. Say these two equation number 5. Okay, and okay, so multiplying the equation number say 5 by common load voltage VL, we get this equation number 5 multiply equation 5 by common load voltage. So what would be that value? Right here. So it become say SL is equal to VL into IL. What is SL? It is the total load in VA or KVA. Load VA or in KVA. For a small transformer is VA, but for the big transformer is KVA or MVA. MVA, isn't it? For the higher capacity transformer. Similarly, KVA rating of transformer A is equal to supplied by the load. It is VLIA is the KVA or transformer of total load supplied by transformer A. Similarly, AB is equal to VL into IB. Is it correct? We are supplying. So just multiplying the equation number 5, that IA to this one to the equation, we get. So under such condition, we can write as SA is equal to what is that value? ZB divided by ZA plus ZB. Okay, ZA plus ZB into SL. What is SL? VL into IL. Okay. Similarly, ZSB can be written as ZA upon ZA plus ZB into SL. SL is the total load supplied, total load kVA or in MV. Thus, the volt ampere load of on each transformer is inversely proportional to their ohmic value. Say, for example, we take the ratio of SA upon SB, SA upon SB. So their ratios, if we take, it is equal to simply ZB upon ZA. So the load supplied or the kVA supplied by each transformer is inversely proportional to their impedance. If impedance value is small, it will supply more, isn't it? So thus the volt ampere load on each transformer is inversely proportional to their ohmic impedance. Hence, to share load in proportional to their rating, the transformer should have the same ohmic impedance which are inversely proportional to their rating. Suppose here ZA and ZB is same. ZA and ZB is same. What will happen? The transformers, they are going to supply power as per their capacity, which already explained. If their ZA and ZB is opposite, or say ZA and ZB is different, ZA is more, ZB will supply more power. If ZB is more, ZA will supply more power. So under such condition, if ZA and ZB is same, impedances are same, their ratio, turns ratio is same. Under such condition, the transformer is going to supply power as per their capacity. Okay, so here we will stop. This is the parallel operation of transformer. Definitely some numericals based on this topic, it will going to conduct in the next coming lecture.